Well, good evening. Ethan back for another beer review tonight, and I'm going to be reviewing from Founders Porter. Dark, rich, and sexy from Founders. Out of Michigan, I've done many Founders beer reviews. This particular one is 6.5% alcohol by volume, 45 IBUs, so getting a little up there. Not too many, though. This bottle was bottled on 7/31/20, so very fresh. Bottled over the summer. Pours silky black with a creamy tan head. The nose is sweet with strong chocolate and caramel malt presence. No absence of hops. Give Founders Robust Porter the full flavor you deserve and expect. Cozy like velvet. It's a lover, not a fighter. It's got a cool bottle design. It's got the woman on the front and kind of the, almost like she's in mourning, like for a funeral kind of attire, all black. Maybe that's to sort of symbolize the darkness of the beer. I don't know. But Founders was established in 1997, and I read that this beer was one of the first beers they brewed, one of four, and it almost made Founders go bankrupt. And in 2005, from 2005 to 2007, the Founders Porter was not available. They had to discontinue it, right? And then they didn't, but thankfully they didn't go bankrupt, and they brought it back in 2007. The reason they discontinued it was, like the website says, Founders shifted their production to take on more innovative and extreme beers. And to make way for those high-volume beers, the Founders Porter was no longer in production from 2005 to 2007. Thankfully, Founders didn't go bankrupt. In 2007, they brought it back. It was originally brewed as a wintertime for colder months beer, as most stouts and porters are. When people think of stouts and porters, they probably think cold weather because that's probably when most people drink them. I would drink them all year round, but yeah, winter's a great time to drink them. But it is now available all year round, and I'm sure people enjoy it all year round. Let's go ahead and crack it. I was out of commission for about 2 weeks with my beer reviews. In the last 2 weeks, 14 days. Out of those 14 days, I probably had beer 3 out of those 14 days. And for me, that's a hiatus. I mean, I enjoy beer. For me to just have 3 days of drinking beer in 14 days is unheard of. I wasn't feeling well, just wasn't feeling it. But now I'm back, and I'm enjoying being back doing reviews. I enjoy beer and drinking and talking about beer. All right, let's pour it. Try to get an aggressive pour to generate that large cascading, reverse cascading head, more than a 5-finger head, massive, dark khaki, light brown color. Let's get an aroma. I'm getting kind of a chocolate coffee aroma, kind of a typical porter, robust porter. All stouts are porters, but not all porters are stout. You know, a stout is basically a stout porter, right? And, you know, at 6.5%, this is actually stouter than a lot of stouts, and it's still considered a porter. But, you know, Founders, they're kind of known for their stouts. Founders KBS, Founders Breakfast Stout. You got, I've seen Backwoods Bastard, Dirty Bastard. They have the Maple Mackinac now, which is excellent. They have the Founders Espresso. I've seen one called Founders Better Half. I haven't had that, but I would certainly get that one for a review in the future. I've seen it in bottle shops near me. All kind of beers coming out of Founders, and it seems like the majority of them are stouts and porters and like high gravity, high ABV ales like your Backwoods Bastard and whatnot, and Dirty Bastard. Again, kind of a chocolate, malty, coffee aroma. This gets a 95, a world class on Beer Advocate. They love it. A lot of great reviews for it. Most people rate it a 4.5 or a 4.3 out of 5. Head's dying down pretty quick, but it's still quite large, fluffy, thick head. It has a nice aroma. Maybe not as pungent as your like KBS or breakfast stout, but you are getting that typical chocolate dark malt on the nose. Let's go ahead and try it, even though there's still a good bit of head on here. There's a nice bitterness up front with this beer. There is a slight sweet, malty note, but the bitterness is definitely pretty upfront. With a little less ABV, those 45 IBUs are going to be a little more detectable, so to speak, than they would be if the beer was 8, 10, 11, 12%, like some of those other stouts from Founders. Nice bitterness. It almost has like a kind of a Guinness extra stout kind of taste with that toasted barley malt, kind of a very dark toasted bread note, not quite burnt. They talk about that on the website, that it's, almost to the point of burnt, but not quite there. On the bottle it says, pour silky black with a creamy tan head. The nose is sweet with strong chocolate and caramel malt presence. Definitely a lot of malt presence. No absence of hops, very true. Gives Founders Robust Porter the full flavor you deserve and expect. Cozy like velvet, it's a lover, not a fighter. It's a great porter. Really, it tastes more like a stout. You get a lot of stouts that aren't very stout, and you get some porters like this that are almost stout porters, could be considered stouts, really, in their presentation, their appearance, their taste, their smell, their ABV, etc. This is a porter, and it's higher alcohol than than Guinness Extra Stout, and it's really kind of on par with that. Nice toasted barley malt, nice bitterness, deep, dark, kind of a coffee flavor. Not too sweet. I would say this is more on the bitter side than sweet side, whereas your Maple Mackinals and your breakfast stouts and your KBS, maybe, they're a lot sweeter, right? This is a little more bitter. Maybe that's because of the low ABV, but they do kind of tout on the bottle that no absence of hops. So they're kind of saying this, we're kind of wanting this to be more on the bitter side, and it really is. But it's a nice bitterness. It's not off-putting. It's not a sour, icky kind of a bitterness. It's a nice toasted bread malt bitterness, right? IBUs 45, getting up there, but it's not like it's not too bitter, like maybe like a double IPA would be for some people. This is a nice bitterness, or a nice IBU that complements that toasted barley malt bitterness. I've mentioned before that I don't like overly sweet beers, and this one is certainly not that. So for me, for a porter, or even a stout, could be, kind of considered a stout, but it's really good. I mean, it's exactly what a dark ale porter should be, It's all the flavor, aroma, and appearance notes are there for what one would expect in this kind of beer. And it's just a great representative of the style, I think. I know that sounds kind of cliche to say, but it's just true, It is a great representation of the style. It is dark, and it is rich, and it's toasty, and it's malty, and it's bitter, with a little note of maybe chocolate and coffee to kind of round it out. I would give this, the Founders Porter, a 97 out of 100. It's excellent. World class, or borderline world class if you don't want to be too generous. But 97, I would say world class. I haven't had a lot of porters. I've had a good bit, but I've had more stouts than porters. A stout is kind of porter, so I've technically had a lot of porters. But this is great. 97 out of 100 for the Founders Porter. Absolutely, I would get it again. It was like $9.99 ish. I can't quite remember. I didn't keep the receipt. I should have, but it was about $9 a 6-pack. That's a great price. I mean, considering the kind of beer you're getting, it's an excellent beer for porters, for stouts. $9.99 a 6-pack is very cheap, very affordable. They usually run you $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $20 a 6-pack or 4-pack, like the Maple Mackinac. But that's a new product, so, you kind of expect that to be a little more. So people, because it's new and they haven't sold a lot of it, though. So, they kind of have to, raise the price a little bit. Yeah. If you see it, get it, try it. I'd get it again. Heck, I'd review it again. It's an excellent porter. A winner chicken dinner out of Founders. Another great beer from Founders. I've been thoroughly impressed and loved absolutely everything that I've tried from Founders. Could be one of my favorite breweries. So far, I'm still trying new stuff and, seeing what I like. But Founders, man, they make some great beers, especially stouts, porters, ales, that kind of stuff. I think they even have an IPA that they have out. I've seen it, but I'll never had it. I would definitely be looking to try that, in a future review. Man, Founders, excellent. I sing their praises. Great beer, 97 out of 100. I've rambled on long enough. Cheers. Thank you for watching.